From a creek to mud and back to a creek, that's depending on the time of day. Neighbors along Hogpen Creek in Jacksonville are concerned about the condition of the waterway that feeds into the intracoastal and the impact it's having on their homes. Our Zach Wilcox is joining us live there now. And Zach, that water is just full of sediment.
Yeah, Anthony, sitting on a dock in the mud. I mean, they would call this a floating dock normally, but it's not floating right now. We are just stuck in the mud. You can see all the docks along Hogpen Creek, and the boats that aren't lifted are just stuck in the mud here at low tide. And the homeowner we talked with mentioned that his waterfront view is turning more and more into mudfront view, and he's thinking it's getting worse and worse as we go through time here, and he's hoping something is done before it gets any worse.
There's a baby.
Saw the beautiful backyard, the water access.
Jake Jacobs says he saw manatees the day he closed on his house on Hogpen Creek 4 years ago. But he says they don't really come around anymore.
The water level's lower and lower. They can't access it. Definitely a detriment to the wildlife.
At high tide, Jacobs says the creek is a few feet deep behind his house. But at low tide,
This floating dock, it will be sitting in the mud. You'll see that there'll be about 4 feet of just dirt.
Jacobs believes the issue is sediment buildup, and he wants to see a study to prove where it's coming from.
It's obvious that this water is getting worse and worse from the point where it meets the Sandalwood Canal.
Jacobs feels if the sediment is coming from Sandalwood Canal, a part of the stormwater drainage system, then the city of Jacksonville should shoulder the cost of dredging Hogpen Creek. I reached out to a city spokesperson who said in part, quote, "The city of Jacksonville only performs dredge projects for access to city-owned and/or operated boat ramps. In this case, this water body only serves private residences and would not be dredged by the city."
So it's a lot of dirt, a lot of trash, and running off the animals.
Helen Chestnut said she'd like to see something done about Sandalwood Canal's impact, but she doesn't want it to impact her taxes.
I won't be able to live here anymore. I won't be run off my property due to the tax hike.
With one little one already and another on the way, Jacob's dream is that his kids will one day be able to swim in Hogpen Creek.
The ultimate goal would be to be able to run off this dock and jump in, not worry about sinking into the mud.
All right, so in order to accomplish that goal, Jacobs is hoping that the city will pay for a study to figure out what's causing all this sediment once and for all, and he's hoping they'll consider adding that study into the budget for the upcoming year. On Hogpen Creek, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.